Hello out there, Heavy Monte here. Welcome to the Heavy Monte's comedy show and my podcast. And I'm going to just talk about what's going on in Washington, D.C. I know that Donald Trump, he's scared, he's hiding. I think he got the word, from the House, Republican House. They're hiding also, you know. Everybody's hiding. Okay. So Donald Trump blows up the stock market, took everybody's 401s, and their retirement savings, and just said, hey, I'm screwing all you people. He even screwed the rich, his friends, Bezos. They lost a whole lot of money. Zuckerberg lost money, he should lose a whole lot of money because he's been trying to push Heavy Monte around. To be lying on your Facebook, they'll kick you off sometime, what I'm saying? For nothing, just make up stuff on you. So I hope they're not working for the man. All right, give everybody a fair shot. But anyway, Donald Trump blew up. The economy, the whole world shaking today. And people mad too. Countries from all around the world calling us names, losers, suckers. You know. And so when will the Republican Congress called Uncle and said, we got to get rid of this fool because Donald Trump is causing trouble for everybody, talking crazy stuff. You see, because he really think he the president. They give him a script, but he go off script. You see, he'll go off script, and they'll ask him a question, and he'll say something crazy. You can't put the genie back in the bottle on some of the things he say, like I'm going to, invade Canada, take over the Panama Canal and Greenland. You see, you see what I'm saying? I'm going to put tariffs on every country in the world because America don't need nobody. Now, how stupid is that, America? You see what I'm saying? We do need people. We even need the immigrants. We find that out. We find all this stuff out. We're finding out who we are as a country. Now we need to tell ourselves who is going to fix this mess we're in. And I think that the Democratic Party can do it. You know, if we don't hamstring them, because the Democratic Party is scared. They're afraid. When you say the word losing democracy to a liberal, we get upset. That's why you see all these protests. We're not playing with these people. These people are crazy. They are crazy as hell and lie too. Continue to lie. Backed up by a traitorous, state run media, Fox News, Laura Ingraham, you know, that dang on gut feel. They're out there talking trash. I don't understand how much money do you need to make from brainwashing maggots? Isn't it time to set those people free and say, look, I made a mistake. I just made some money. I was just rather scam a game because that's what they're doing. Paid actors on Fox, paid, to swindle people. In my opinion, you know. Also, it's ironic that Fox News is owned by an immigrant. So, and Elon Musk, who's controlling our money and firing our people, is an immigrant. Because I don't believe that a real American would be doing what they're doing to the nation. You see, America? You know, because a real American loves the red, white, and the blue. They love everybody. A real American don't give a damn who and what you are and who you worship. A real American just going along in their day trying to get trying to survive. You know, it's hard enough in the world surviving. Paying your bills, meeting your mortgage, to be worrying about somebody else's race, or what's going on like that, who they love, you know, coming up with laws to restrict women. That's not American. That's authoritarian, they say. And if you don't know what authoritarian is, that means that you have a king, one person rule. Now, look at the king that the Republican Party proposed for us. Donald Trump is that guy. That disqualifies, excuse me, that disqualifies the Republican Party because if they're going to pick a convict to be king, somebody who they consider a criminal, somebody said they grabbed women by their personal parts, and a bunch of women said he got this some stuff to them. Women suing him, and he's losing lawsuits talking about raping somebody. This is the guy that the Republican Party has put up and said this is their guy, and he's a good man. He's the best we can do. So America. So you can understand why Heavy Monte, started this podcast because I was at home talking to myself, and I would say, "Damn, I got to get some relief." So I'm talking to you now. This is therapy for me. But anyway, the Republican Party chooses this convict. This person with a reputation that's really lower than Jesse James. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking for his ass, And I'm not going to be cussing out. I'm going to try to clean up my act because I'm happy now. I think I got all my anger out. But anyway, this guy is lower than Jesse James, wanted, You see what I'm saying? And you don't see him putting on no rallies no more. I wonder if Donald Trump wants to try to have a big rally right now. You see what I'm saying? So they're just doing some crazy stuff. The Republicans, I think they might just be saying, they get together and say, let's piss these people off. Let's keep them, upset or something because what do America have to be upset about? Nothing. When we stick together and mind out their business. You see what I'm saying? Go out there and just work and have a good damn time and leave all this foolishness alone. That's what I want to go back to. I don't want to be worried about the president putting tariffs on people every day and pulling some kind of crazy crap, trying to invade Canada. Republicans, you need to get control of this man. Heavy don't like him. I don't like him at all. You see. So I'm biased, but I think he's doing a real bad job, a real bad job. And I think the Republican Party needs to do something about this guy, shit, before we all be in a depression. And he already said, that's where I'm putting you at. He came on TV, and I think he put a tweet out here, I heard, that said, tough crap, baby. So I don't care about y'all, That's what he said. So this is kind of strange behavior. If you're the president, excuse me, and you're saying, hey, I don't care about y'all, he's supposed to care. He's supposed to have love, kindness. He's a Christian. He sells Bibles for $65. You see what I'm saying? He refused to put his hands on the Bible at his inauguration, And this is the guy that the Republican Party put up. Tell us, this is the man. Again, Heavy Monte said this disqualifies the Republican Party. We have to get rid of them because they stink. They stink with the smell of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. They stink with the smell of Vladimir Putin. And you see how many, I can't name them all, how many members in that House of Representatives that that stinks. Yes, you see what I'm saying? That House of Representatives of the Republican Party is damn corrupt. You understand? They kick a couple of them out already. You know what I'm saying? For all kind of crimes. You see what I'm saying? Telling you, And they couldn't pass a bill, and now they're making up stuff. And I tell you what, we need to vote them out. But again, this is Heavy Montana, a very good mood. Because we got them on the ropes. They tell me, I don't know. Tomorrow, they said the stock market's supposed to go up. They said it's supposed to be bad. They're talking black market. You see what I'm saying? Because they always blame shit on black people. So anyway, but we ain't had nothing to do with this. This is Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? Okay, America, let's love one another. Let's not be paying any attention to those fools. This is Heavy Monte and the Heavy Monte Show.